China quietly has created a significant place for itself in India in the last 5 years in the technology domain. Unable to persuade India to sign onto its Belt and Road Initiative, China has entered the Indian market through venture investments in startups and penetrated the online ecosystem with its popular smartphones and their application. Chinese investors will have to partner up with local firms to enter the market. Chinese tech investors have put an estimate of $4 billion into Indian startups. Such is their success that over the 5 years ending March 2020, 18 of India's 30 unicorns are now Chinese funded. TikTok, the video app, has 200 million subscribers and has overtaken YouTube in India. Alibaba, Tencent and ByteDance rival the US penetration of Facebook, Amazon and Google in India. Chinese smartphones like Oppo, Xiaomi lead the Indian market with an estimated 72% one share, leaving Samsung and Apple behind. Let's watch a video of a foreign media where they discuss on Chinese investments in Tech India.
Chinese companies have struggled to enter the Indian electronics manufacturing market due to increasing political tensions between the two countries. Now Delhi appears to be warming up to the idea, and it's setting boundaries. According to reports, Chinese investors will have to partner up with local firms to enter the market. The deals will clear on the condition that the Indian parties retain a majority stake. The government is now trying to identify 50 to 60 Indian companies to enter such agreements, not just with Chinese counterparts, but also with companies from South Korea, Taiwan and Vietnam. Let's go to Charu Karthikeyan to talk about this. It sounds like India is using China's rules on foreign firms by setting quite a lot of conditions for the Chinese doing business in India.
Well, Ben, these conditions make sense only from the perspective of India's stress to India's focus on promoting its own manufacturing, domestic manufacturing here, and especially in the electronics sector. Now, electronics manufacturing is one of India's weak points, but now it has recently set itself an ambitious target for in the next about 2 years. But then India's relationship with China, as everyone knows, has been deteriorating in the last 2 years after the India-China border standoff. So this is very preliminary. This is only at the proposal stage, and media reports suggest that government is still considering these proposals. 1 or 2 Indian companies are in talks with Chinese manufacturers to go ahead to set up this kind of a joint venture, but nothing has been announced at the policy level so far, Ben.
Will India still have the upper hand, though, in these joint ventures?
Well, that's what is proposed. The entry of Chinese firms or Korean firms or Taiwanese firms in the Indian electronics manufacturing sector will only be allowed if they have a joint venture with an Indian company, and the Indian company must have a majority stake in that joint venture. So definitely the plan is to give an upper hand to Indian companies, and what reports also seem to be suggesting that this is mostly about transfer of high-end technology, which Indian companies lack and which Chinese companies, Taiwanese and Korean companies specialize in. About the transfer of high-end technology, the idea is to give Indian companies an upper hand, definitely. Yes, Ben.
The Chinese aren't the only ones looking to India, though. American companies, Apple, for example, is looking at shifting production from China to India. What about India's growing relationship with China? Could that become a stumbling block or a problem for other foreign investors interested in India?
Well, so far India is moving carefully, but then it has been exploring all its options. The Apple manufacturing JV is already in place, and it is reports suggest that it is about to begin in a very short time. And apart from that, it is not just China, but it is Taiwan, but it is South Korean manufacturers also that India is considering allowing entry. Now, India is sort of hesitating from putting all its eggs in one basket. So various options are being considered. At a policy level, US has been showing some unhappiness with the fact that India has been partnering with countries whom the US doesn't see eye to eye with. But again, Ben, as this is at a very preliminary level, no clear indications have come whether this is going to upset other partners as well. But India, as you know, for the last several months has been showing very deep confidence in its ability to take multiple partners together, Ben.